that from the standpoint of going against another opponent. Just defensively, you need that work for the sensory motor process of it, seeing different formations, motions, routes, how they'd run their routes, the stem routes. So we needed it. It was a long practice, which was good work for us. We needed to, kind of continue to build our reps. And Denver was awesome, great organization that they hosted us, and practice was very organized. Coach Payton on the details, really explaining every drill. So it was good. It was good work.
How much can you pick up from other coaches during those type of joint practices?
You can pick up a good deal, just because as you sit there and the plays are going on, I can hear them coaching. Like I said, Coach Payton he's coaching hard. You can tell why he's as successful as he's been. But even like in certain periods where we have to work together on what personnel do we have in the game, them, I'm standing next to one of their assistant coaches, and you're able to talk through as these plays are unwinding. I think it's kind of beneficial for the coaches in that regard as well, just, getting their perspective offensively. So it's good work all around.
You guys obviously put a lot of investment into the defensive line, the pass rush this offseason. Can you sense yet what that looks and feels like and how different it might be from previous years? Yeah,
there's good and bad. I talked to the players about it the other day. We show flashes of being able to win and win fast. I think that's important of, on pass downs, you got to get there in a fast matter of time. And so there's really good reps of it, but then we got to be able to do it consistently. If you want to be a dominant four-man rush team, you have to have four guys rushing as a unit and guys winning fast. And so, I pointed out, good stuff, and then, hey, like, we can win this rep right here if we do A, B, or C. So I think we got to continue to get better, but I like where we're trending.
What difference would it make for the defense to have that dominant four-man rush in your arsenal in addition to all the creative stuff that you might have drawn up?
Yeah, that anytime you can affect the quarterback with four guys, that's awesome, because you can do things that you want to do in coverage and call a game, or whether it's on normal downs or pass downs based on the coverage, knowing that no matter what, you're going to find ways to get pressure on the quarterback, along with being creative and doing things that are hard schematically as well.
Has been in the league for a few years now, but to get some up-close looks at him, what have you learned about his game that maybe you weren't able to pick up on just from watching tape?
I think you can see the player that he's been show up on the practice field. He's hard to move in the run game, but his feet are sweet. It's unbelievable how agile he is at his size, and I think that was the first thing that kind of wowed me in person, is just seeing that back in OTAs, and then you see it transfer into the team periods now during training camp. So that, along with just pushing that pocket, he can be very disruptive inside.
You got a guy who's kind of light on his feet, Jordan Birch.
Mm-hmm.
Are you surprised that as high of a weight as he plays at as much as he can move?
Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. I think you kind of said it. Like, for how big he is extremely athletic. And I like the way that he's playing right now uses his size and plays violent. Just thinking about the practice and even in that last game against the Broncos, like, he does some really good things in terms of just power on the edge, whether that's in the run game or the pass rush.
What are your thoughts on the way the secondary is kind of coming together with some of the younger corners on the outside, with some vets like Buddha on the back end?
Yeah, it's a good combination of guys that have played a long time and guys that are a little bit younger that have a huge upside. Got to continue to keep getting better. I know they're close and they're very comfortable playing together out there with a lot of different combinations. I think it's deep. The competition is still very strong going in these last preseason game. But I like where we're headed, and similar to the pass rush, like, there's things where we got to play a little bit more consistent to be a really good unit in the back end.
How helpful is it to have those veteran guys like Buddha and other members of the secondary kind of mentoring these guys like Will and even Max, going into this?
Yeah. I think it's beneficial in multiple ways. Beneficial from a schematic standpoint, just their confidence in communicating out to the corners, their understanding of the scheme. So that right there, like, the communication so fast on the field, especially even with like Garrett in there, it helps those guys play faster. But then every second of it, every day. It's like, how do you be a pro? And there's so many guys to follow in that room, and that's beneficial to all those young guys.
In some ways, Elijah Jones is physically still a rookie, getting some of these reps, but mentally was all in the playbook last year. Where have you seen physically in his game the benefits of all of the mental reps he was getting last year?
Yeah, he's playing faster because he knows exactly what to do, and he's able to go out there and make plays on the ball. So his game is to me is continually getting better, and there's things that he can improve on to, not even close to hitting where the player he can be. So he works extremely hard. He works at his craft, and you can tell he's just getting more comfortable as more reps he gets. And I want to see him go out there and make plays when at the point of attack.
Earlier this offseason, Darius said that he wanted to shine this camp like he shined on tape last camp for his injury. Is he back to where he was, or has he surpassed where he was at this point?
I don't know if I'm going to sit here and try to compare to where he was. I know last year I saw a really good player, and this year he's doing some really good stuff. Obviously there's things that he can improve on, but I see a guy that is consistent with how he works, consistent with how physical he plays, when we got the pads on in practice or in the games. And I've seen parts of his game improve from where he was a year ago. So, I would say he's continually getting better from one day to the next.
He seems very mentally strong.
He works now. He is every day. I need to meet before everyone's meeting, and I'm staying after the meeting. When we were over at the stadium, my office was in the D-line room, and it felt like his office too, because he's just always in there. So, I think that's a huge reason why he's so confident in what he's doing and why he's playing so fast is because he puts in the time.
What do you think last season kind of have pushed him this year, kind of everything he went
Well, I think he's just, I don't know if it would have changed at all. I think he's going to be a hungry guy. He wants to be great. And so whether he would have played last year or he had the injury that set him out for the first part of the year, he's going to work no matter what. He wants to be great, and so he puts in that time.
With Akeem Davis Gaither, I know most of the tape from Cincinnati was special teams tape. He didn't have as much run on defense. Has he met your expectations in that inside linebacker room?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. You can tell he's extremely smart, and that he's a vet because, his first year in defense doesn't feel like it. Picks it up right away. Like one install, got it, and really doesn't make much mistakes. If he does, he corrects it right away. I've never seen him make the same mistake twice. So you can tell he's a pro. And he's a natural linebacker. He's got feel to stack behind those tackles and find the football. So he's doing a really good job.
Seems like Dante Stills is going to be an important part of the defensive line this year. Where have you seen his growth come in your years here?
Consistency. Because in his first 2 years, he definitely flashed the athlete that he is, the power that he has. I'm seeing him do it now on a more consistent basis. And I can tell his confidence, as it should, it's grown. Because when you see yourself continually make plays, you realize I've put in this work to get to this point, and I can go out there and make plays on Sunday. So the biggest thing is consistency. I see him do it every day. Not to say that he doesn't have a bad play here or there. And I think he is playing with his hair on fire. His motor and violence is there. So he's doing a great job.
Where do you think his football family background kind of helps in all of that?
I think it's just knowledge of the game and love for the game, honestly. You see the passion come out with him. He's another guy like D-Rob that puts in a lot of time and cares deeply, and like our whole locker room, honestly. But, I think it shows with him.
Was it just a matter of stacking up the reps to get him more comfortable and more?
Yeah. And he's in year 3 now. This is a huge year where a lot of guys take jumps, and that's what I'm seeing.
Last year, you guys used Mack Wilson in a really unique role that kind of enabled your defense to do a lot of things. You could line up one place pre-snap, someone completely different after the snap. Is there a downside? Do you lose something as a defense by moving him to the more traditional middle linebacker spot? How do you counter that and ensure you can still use his skill set?
No, I don't know if we necessarily lose something because we still got that guy on the field making plays for us. I think, as a defense as a whole, we have a lot of smart guys and a lot of versatile pieces that there's still a lot of cool things, I'll call it, that you can do schematically.
Saban, you talked about the year 3 kind of jump. He's at this position now.
Yeah,
his
year
third
3 for this
season.
position. Yeah.
You guys ask him to do so much, but do you think there's maybe some more upside from a pass rusher standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen his pass rush definitely improve, and part of it for him is just where he puts his attention in his pass rush. So it really just starts with the brain for him, and then once he figures it, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is how I need to react if I get this. You see a fast, big, violent dude. So still things to improve on, but you see that jump. He's getting comfortable in that position. And so things just happen faster once you start to have that comfort.
Going back to the first preseason game, through the joint practice, second preseason game, Will Johnson's got a lot of opportunities against guys in other shirts. What do you hope that he's learned from those 3 opportunities?
I mean, a lot of things. Number one is getting comfortable playing NFL corner and playing NFL corner in this defense. And I think the more reps he gets, the more comfortable he's going to get, and he'll be able to use his brain to go out there and make plays. That's one thing with Will, is extremely intelligent and has a natural feel to play the position. So once you get really comfortable with understanding the strength and stress of each call and where you can, make some plays by utilizing your help or understanding where you can't miss because you're in a stressful down, he's going to play that much faster. So I think that's the biggest thing, as he gets those reps and he feels different receivers, different releases, different stems when he's playing off. Like, all that stuff matters for him to get to play more comfortable. And now he's comfortable, he's fast, he's making plays on the football. So, that's the biggest thing, is just banking those reps.
How would he kind of handle the learning curve of being an NFL corner?
I think every rookie at that position, you got to get the feel of the speed out there. I call it on the highway. Like, you're on the highway, you're on an island one-on-one, and so just feeling those releases. There's different types of releases, feeling the different speed of guys. Same thing playing off, like those stems, how guys launch off the football, feeling all that stuff out as a rookie. It takes reps, and sometimes it takes getting beat to have that growth and understand, okay, well, I can't play this route like this or against this type of guy, and here's what I can do to correct my technique. That position is an art, and so it's just a matter of time of perfecting that art.
You keep talking about how smart he is. Will that help reduce that learning curve, or is it just a matter of getting those reps, seeing that speed in person, seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think what the intelligence will help him accelerate making plays that not every guy necessarily finds that avenue to make those plays, just by taking in all the information that's relevant for him. So, what's the situation? What's our call? What are the strengths and stresses of our call? Why are we calling our call? What is the offense, personnel, formation, all that stuff? Like, that all happens in seconds. And then when you take that in, knowing, what's coming or having anticipation, and then being able to go out there and make plays, that's where being intelligent helps you really at every position.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
When you see your team go through a game like you guys had to go through on Saturday night, does it inspire you? Do you just want to wipe it clean? Like, how do you kind of approach that?
Just kind of learn from it, honestly. Soak it in on the same night, and just get back to work the next day. And I think that's what we've done a good job at, is responding. The entire camp. Days are good, days are bad. So you just got to be able to come back to work the next day and improve. I think just accountability, and looking at yourself before you go into the meeting room, so that you're coachable. And I think we've done that not just this past preseason game, but even in the first preseason game, everybody made mistakes. That's a game of football, but we went out there, we attacked practice today, and we plan on doing it tomorrow and the rest of the week and getting ready to go on Saturday.
Did it mean a little bit more for you personally to have the performance you did against the team that brought you into the league?
I think it was special. It was special. It was definitely good, to have joint practice to see everybody. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to everybody because it was really good. But the transition in New Orleans was really quick. But so it was definitely good to get it, the highs, the hugs out the way on Thursday. But I was ready to go on Saturday, man. It was good to be back in that stadium. Good to go against the guys I played against during camp and all that stuff. So it definitely it felt good. It wasn't personal, but it definitely. Felt good to go out there and compete. Wish we got the dub, but
When it comes to your just progression overall, since training camp began through now that you've had 2 preseason games to take part in, how have you seen your game possibly take a jump?
I think in every area, that's kind of what I talked about the other day on the radio interview is, I lost a bunch of weight, but that was a conversation I had with Coach AG when the season ended. We talked about getting my body right. We talked about all the areas I wanted to improve on to be a guy that can play on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? So, I had constant communication with him through the offseason, showing him the numbers from when I first got back right before OTA. So, in every area, my run game, my pass game, I don't think there's an area I didn't want to improve on because I want to be a guy that can contribute for this team. So I can't pinpoint one area for you. I think I've grown in every area. That's just the work I put in.
What's the secret to dropping all that weight?
Oh man, cutting out the snacking, cutting out the soda, all that good stuff. But it was hard at first, but then understanding the type of player I want to be, I think it became easier because I saw the results. And then once we got to OTAs, I was like, okay, I'm moving a lot better. I can do some of the. I can, I think I'm a smart football player. So when you're that heavier, you can see stuff, but it's hard to react in a way you want to react. So. Dropping that weight, it definitely helped. But that, yes, not snacking, man. Not snacking. Yeah.
I'm sure you're focusing on yourself, but I'm curious when you come into this off season, you're thinking, okay, I want to get better myself. I want to be a part of the rotation next year. Mm-hmm. And then you see them make all these moves and add all these guys in the off season. What's going through your mind when that happens?
Oh, I think it was great. I think you can't get better at the game of football without competition. So them bringing in all these guys, it definitely adds competition to the room, but it also helps me learn the game. I think Dalvin has been huge to what I've been able to do this camp. I've spent a lot of time with him, just picking his brain on a day-to-day basis, whether it's in the cafeteria, whether it's out on practice, and just seeing him in his reps. He's done it at the nose tackle position for years now. I think almost a decade, and has had a lot of success. So I think it'd be wrong for me to not learn as much as I can from him, from Calais. Calais is another vet who's done an awesome job. It's like I'm a student in there. I'm learning from not only Coach Debo and all the coaches, but adding those 2 guys, even the young guys. I'm learning from them as well. So I'm just a sponge, man. I really want to get better at the game of football. Like I said, I want to be a guy who can compete to play on Sundays, and I think having guys in the room like that has really been valuable for my development.
How much weight did you lose?
I lost around 40 pounds. I was around 350 towards the end of the season. So I'm down, man. I'm down. Yeah.
Quicker, or else have you noticed kind of the biggest changes?
I'd say my technique. Technique's another big thing. Like I've definitely transitioned my body to where I want it to be, but I've also put in a lot of work on the field. I think Coach Debo's done a great job of helping me be the player I wanted to be. Also, I think I'm really good with my hands. I think I'm able to take on double teams better, and even affect the quarterback a little bit more than I have in the past. So I want to continue to develop my game in the pass rush. But I think right now the biggest thing for me was just being dominant in the run, not being good, but being dominant and being a guy. When you look around the league, nose tackles who have a lot of success and can change their defenses are able to control the A-gap to A-gap, and that's the type of player I want to be. So, I got a long ways to go. I'm not anywhere close to the player I want to be, but I know if I'm willing to put in the work on a day-to-day basis, I'll get there.
What so we see from where we're at in practice is just how connected this defensive line room seems to be, but actually being in the room, just how connected are you guys?
Really connected, man. We're close, top to bottom. Like I shouted out Dalvin and Calais already, but you know, they're just one of the guys, man. It's been so much fun. We're always joking, laughing, having fun, but we're able to lock in when we need to. I think that's what's able to allowed us to go out there and have the success we've had is because, you know, we trust each other, we play off one another, and we just that close relationship. It's close right now, but I think, you know, as the year goes on, as camp's gone on, it's just developed even more.